Welcome to Vertical Football, and this is the five things we learned. Yeah, this is Chelsea 4, Aston Villa 1. I think this is a must win for us, and I feel like the boys understood the message. They went into the game and they got the 3 points for us. Very important 3 points. And given the results with Manchester United 2-1 from Newcastle getting the win, I think it helps us to like close the gap. And Liverpool even losing yesterday helps us close the gap and move closer into that place where we want to be, because that's the place that we are aiming for, getting to top 4 naturally, not waiting for an external factor to help us to make Europe next season. So I think we executed this one perfectly. I liked the way we reacted, given that we considered very early and we reacted, started showing up, started building up, started creating chances, and went on to like convert these chances. And massive shout out to João Pedro. Hat-trick again. I think it's just the guy is on form. He's on form. I think he should be the player of the month for last season. For last month, I believe. We have not seen it come out yet, but I think he should be the player of the month. With that kind of performance, you deserve something like an accolade for that. So let's go into this match. Let's go into the 5 things we learned. So let's just discuss about this match. I think the first thing for me is the way we played. When we started the game, our defenders were reluctant to play the ball into the passing gate, which put us in a space where we were stereotyped to play through the wings, and they even covered for that. They shifted quickly to one side, and then we had to like recycle the ball. So when you watch, before we got our goal, we were more of playing the ball just around. We were just kicking it around, and we were not doing anything with it. But that moment where they switched on and they started playing into it, like playing through the gates, and the ball was getting to Caicedo, getting to Reece James, it was very easy for us to like advance into the middle third and into the final third. And I felt like that was what was missing in the earlier part of the game. And the moment we unlocked it, it was more like we unlocked the creativity of the team. And because under this Rosenior system, we have so much dependent on playing through the channels, and I feel like I do not see any reason why we should not play it through in this game, because Aston Villa committed 4 players up front to like block our build up, sometimes 5, and it's just logical that you try to play through the passing gates. When you can get through, is that you get the ball to the one of the pivots, you have cut out 5 man, and then you can progress the ball and go into the final third so easily. You can even see it in the first goal, find a way to pass the ball to Caicedo, and then because he can look up and have left guys behind, find the right pass to the guy on the left hand side, and then we just went on to get our goal. So I'll say it was a good way. It was a good way to play. We saw our own mistakes and then we worked on it. Yeah. So another thing is we reacted well. I think I like that so much. Because the problem that conceding early can bring to you. It just tampers with your plan, yeah, because you have a certain way you want to play the game, and then all of a sudden you concede. Something that you are not expecting just happens. There is a high tendency that your plan you just have to like ditch it to like find a new plan to work with, or sometimes it affects the mind, and then everybody just keep chasing, and then you put yourself in a situation where you concede another one again. But I think as much as we almost got ourselves in situations like that, because you saw sometimes where we were left behind with just 2 defenders on Oli Watkins, and it went on to like have some shots. But I feel like we still find a way to, as much as we are committing players up front, we made sure that we were converting those chances. So we are leaving ourselves back vulnerable, but going forward, we have the numbers. Let's take hold of these chances, and we did that perfectly well. And let's talk about Kopama. I think it's high time we start sparing. We start taking away the mindset of, oh, let's spare this guy. He's having the injury crisis. He's not really that fit anymore. I think he had a decent game today. Creative wise, you know what he brings into the team. Moving from the final, most especially when he's in the final third, he has that vision to be able to spot the runner and drop a pass. Sometimes dribbles. His ball progression is something you even want to applaud, in the sense that sometimes he does not necessarily need to take the ball and run, which sometimes he do. He carries the ball and move from one page. Sometimes goes 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards. Sometimes even more than that, and you like what you see. But we are beginning to see that Kopama is losing his touch in the final third. Whenever he gets to the front of the box, he's not as potent as he used to be anymore. And I don't want to put him in that space where you say, oh, because of the injury. No, is he? Are you going to say because he's managing his leg, that's why he can't take shots at the right moment? No, I feel like he's becoming complacent. That's one thing I would say. I think he's relaxing too much. I think he needs to step up his game. And we are not talking about him running or doing the physical part of the game, but like we know Kopama in the last season and the last 2 seasons that we have seen him play, in the sense that when he gets into the final third, he's very sharp in his decision making. He gets the ball and he does it once, bam. But we saw many times in this particular game where he gets the ball and I don't know what he's thinking in his mind. He's trying to get another extra touch and and out of that, he makes an error. So I feel like we need to cut the slack here. He needs to step up his game. Like big time, because we cannot be going through this kind of times and we don't have that guy who is a focal point when he gets there. Not just Joao Pedro alone, because you are going to have days where this guy is not going to be on this game. What happens to the other guy? People should be able to step up. So I think I require that from Kopama. And so speaking about the goalkeeper also, it's something that we need to address. We saw it with Sanchez last week, and I don't want to believe that these goalkeepers are doing these things out of their own natural instincts. I think it is an instruction from the coach, and that needs to be addressed, in the sense that we are asking this keeper maybe to hold on to the ball a little bit longer. But I think we need to put a pin to it to know, all right, when is a little bit longer now enough? Because we saw it with Sanchez, almost cost us. We saw it in this particular match also, almost cost us. But as time goes on, you cannot always go on with almost. It's going to get to a point where you will have to start suffering for it, or you will eventually start suffering from it. Yeah. And I think I don't want us to get to that situation. You get the ball, you are holding it, you are looking for the right man to pass to. You have not seen the right man to pass to in the short passes. Look for the guy who is running or something, because if you are holding the ball, you are the extra man. They are going to commit players up front. Somebody will be free somewhere. Find a long pass. You don't necessarily need to hold it and just hold it like a robot. You need to be able to be proactive. Do something about it. So I don't know what the instruction is that the coach is giving to these players. In the goalkeeper, I'm speaking about the goalkeeper. Something needs to be done about that situation. And lastly, I think it's just the momentum going forward. We just need to carry it. And speaking to the board, I think this is a message to the board. It's obvious now. You can see on the left-hand side of our wing, it is very obvious. We need good players there. We need quality players there. You look at Garnacho, he made some very decent run. He looks dangerous, but that's all that he is. Like, he just looks dangerous, but he's not actually dangerous. And he had some decent run. He runs into space, but I don't want to get clouded and covered by that assist alone. You see some spaces where he's 1v1 and you're expecting your winger to be able to like take this guy on and have that bite, dribble him, find some very magical shots, do all of these varieties of things that you're expecting of a winger to do. But I don't think he has that in his arsenal. So I think this is a message to the board. As much as we are looking for defenders, I think we need to be looking for a left winger. Yeah, you just definitely need to be looking for a left winger if you want to compete and do all of those things that the big boys in the league are doing. So I'll stop here, guys. This is the 5 things brought to you by Vertical Football. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And what are the things that you saw in this match that I have not spoken about? Please put it in the comment section and let's talk about it. We'll see you some other time. Namaste.